Hello children, myself Rekha Damur from Param Guru Pathshala English Medium School Sarsa. Today I am going to discuss the subject Economic of Standard 12th Commerce. Unit number 2 Indicators of Economic Growth and Development. Topics covered Indicators of Economic Development. Before we start our topic, we know about the indicators of development. In the last session, we have discussed about the growth and development's meaning and the difference between growth and development. Has the country achieved economic development or not? If so, how fast it has taken place? How much is the economic development of the country? To know and to measure it, we should consider various factors. Such factors are identified as the indicator of measure economic development, measuring rods or standards. These indicators, which measure the rate of economic development and its extent, can be presented in numerical and statistical terms. Through these indicators, a comparison of two countries and two time periods can be done. Just as thermometer measures the changes in the temperature of human body and records it, development indicators measure the country's development. Some of the indicators of economic development are: first, rate of growth of national income; second, rate of growth of per capita income; third, quality of life, physical quality of life index, in short PQLI; and fourth, Human Development Index, in short HDI. Now we start our main point. First is growth rate of national income. First point is continuous increase in the real income of country indicates economic development. According to this indicator, a country is said to have attained economic development if there is a continuous increase in the real national income of the country for a long period of time. If the rate of rise in national income is high, the development rate is said to be high, and if national income increases at a lower rate, the rate of development is low. If the national income does not rise, it depicts the state of stagnancy, and if national income decreases, there is underdevelopment of negative development. According to this indicator, real income and not money income is taken into consideration, and hence national income is calculated not at current prices but at constant prices. Now we discuss about the limitations of growth rate of national income. There are some limitations in accepting national income as an indicator of economic development. First of them is difficulty in calculating true national income. There are many problems or difficulties in calculating the true national income, like double counting, products for self consumption, difficulties in calculating depreciation, illegal income, tax avoidance, tax evasions, barter transaction, illiteracy, employment of person in more than one occupation, etc., makes it difficult to estimate the true national income of the country. And so, national income cannot be considered as a true measuring rod of the rate of economic development of a country. Second point is population. By just knowing the national income of a country, the rate of economic development cannot be understood. Hence, the extent of population should also be known. If the rate of growth of national income is lesser than the rate of growth of population, then development is said to be negative. If the rate of growth of national income is higher than the rate of growth of population, then the rate of economic development is positive. Our next point is different methods of calculating national income. There are different methods used to calculate national income across the world. The most important among them are production, income, and expenditure methods. When a country's national income is measured through two different methods, the result, instead of remaining the same, differs. As different countries adopt different methods to calculate national income, international comparison becomes difficult. So, our next topic is growth rate of per capita income. Per capita income means average income per head. It is calculated by dividing total national income by total population. According to this indicator, when the per capita income of a country increases for a long period continuously, it can be said that economic development has taken place. Per capita income is average income per head. These indicators takes into account the population of the country too, and hence per capita income is as an indicator superior to the national income as an indicator. The experts of UNO, means United Nations Organization, have recommended per capita income as an indicator of economic development. If the country's per capita income rises at a faster rate, development is said to be fast. If per capita income grows at a lower rate, development is low, and per capita income is constant, there is stagnation, and if per capita income falls, development is negative. Now we discuss about the limitation of per capita income. First is only estimates. The national income of the economy is calculated almost every year, and hence we get almost a correct data. But the population of the country is not calculated every year. In India, population census is taken once in 10 years. Hence, only an approximation is taken for all other years. So, per capita income data is not acquired correctly. It means we all know that the national income is calculated almost every year, but in comparison it, the population census is taken once in a 10 years. So if we estimate is if we calculate our national income every year and the population in 10 years. So how can we find the real per capita income every year? And how can we measure the development? Because the per capita income is related with national income and population. It is found by dividing the total national income from population. So we can say that it is only estimates. It is not really per capita income. Second point is difficulty in calculation of national income and per capita income. Already we have seen the difficulty in calculating national income. In the same way, whether per capita income should be at current price or constant price and their related difficulties make it difficult to know the real situation. Our next point is difficulty in comparison. The per capita incomes of different countries are expressed in their respective currency. It will have to be first converted into US dollar and then comparison can be done to find out whether economic development of a country is relatively higher or low. Different countries of the world impose different controls on the exchange rate and real exchange rate cannot be known and consequently the real comparison it is not possible amongst countries. Okay? If we want to compare development according to the per capita income between two countries, so how can we compare? Because there is different countries has different currencies and they calculated the per capita income according to their currency, and that currency is to be first converted into US dollar and then comparison can be done, and the exchange rate and the real rate are different. If we don't know the real exchange rate, how can it possible to measure perfect per capita incomes? Now our next point is per capita income shows only average. Per capita income shows only an average income. On the basis of this average, no decision can be taken and the stage of development of countries cannot be decided. With increase in per capita income, equitable income distribution takes place, economic development is said to have taken place. If income distribution is inequitable, it can be said that economic development has not taken place. Due to this, the per capita income as an indicator is considered deficient. It means per capita income shows only an average per head. We divide our total national income by our population and we get the per capita income, but it does not mean that every person have that income. Means every person might not get equal income. Some have get more income and some have get less income. If the income distribution is taken equally, so we can say that economic development is there. And if income distribution is inequitable, we can say that economic development has not taken place. And due to that, per capita income as an indicator is considered deficient. Fifth is per capita income of the country is not actual income that a citizen gets. Per capita income as an indicator hides more than it reveals, and hence it is not a correct indicator. Now our next topic is third indicator of development is improvement in quality of life and PQLI. PQLI means physical quality of life index to measure the changes of standard of living. The objective of economic development is to improve the standard of living of the people. For that, if economic development has taken place, and how much more or less is to be measured, and for this physical quality of life index as an indicator is accepted. First we know what is PQLI. Quality of life in human beings depends on the different types of goods and services that a person consumes. The standards of consumption refers to the consumption of food, fuel, non-durable goods, consumption of durable and semi-durable goods, consumption of services. Now we discuss the aspects included in this indicator: food, health and medical services, housing and clothing, education and entertainment, transportation, communication, energy, drainage, etc. Now we discuss the topics to be discussed in PQLI are determinants, formulations, important aspects, positive aspects, limitations. First is PQLI. Increase in national income and per capita income are not the real indicators of economic development, as it has number of limitations. The development of a country should be such that the living standards of the poor rise. The basic requirements of the citizens are fulfilled. Keeping this in mind, Maurice Davis Morris presented the physical quality of life index, which is in short known as PQLI. So, how can we measure the development by PQLI? So, here the determinants of PQLI. First is extent of education, means percentage of population educated out of total population. In this, literacy level of the country determines situation of education. Second is life expectancy, means number of years a child expected to live at a time of birth. In this, It shows the average life. If life expectancy rises, it can be said that the medical services of the country is good. Third, infant mortality rate. Number of infants die out of every 1,000 infants before completing their 1 year. If infant mortality rate falls, it can be said that healthcare services of the country is good. Now, we discuss the reasons for only 3 determinants. First, dependable data for all these factors can be acquired for all the countries. Second, all these 3 factors depict the results and not efforts. And third is, all these 3 factors are product based and hence fulfills the justifiable standards for performance comparison. Now we discuss the formulation of PQLI. Every indicator means literacy, life expectancy, infant mortality is given 100 weights. On the basis of performance of that determinants, it is graded between 0 to 100. A total of these grades of 3 factors are summed up. This total divided by 3 to derive an average. And the data so derived is known as PQLI. Now we discuss the important aspects for PQLI. After the calculation of formulation of PQLI, we get the answer. And if the answer is closer to 100, better is the performance of all the 3 indices of PQLI of the country. Closer to 0, bad is the performance of all the 3 indices of PQLI of the country. PQLI is always between 0 to 100. PQLI can be used to compare 2 states within the country or 2 different countries. Higher the PQLI, more is the economic development, and last is lower the PQLI, lesser is the economic development. Now we discuss the positive aspects and limitations of PQLI. PQLI includes the factors which the standard of human life. Better index when compared to per capita income. PQLI as an indicator of economic development has lesser drawbacks as against national income and per capita income indicators. Next point is, with PQLI comparisons can be made between different countries, different groups of countries, or different states of the same country. And last is, we can create PQLI for urban rural areas, females, males, and a comparison can be done. Now we discuss the limitations of PQLI. As only 3 determinants, correct picture cannot be concluded. There is only 3 aspects are included, and on their basis it cannot be categorically stated whether a country has actually developed or not. To get a correct picture, we need to include other factors also to the existing one. It means Only from these three aspects we cannot say that the actually development is taken place or not. In our life, there are many other important factors for our standard of life and our development. So, they factors are also be included in our development measurement. Second is only average are depicted. Does not show prominence of or backwardness of each indicator. The values obtained from three indicators are divided by 3 to obtain PQLI, which is in the form of average. Average of three aspects of a country does not show the prominence or backwardness of each indicator. Decisions cannot be made on the basis of average. It means in here we divided the amount we get is divided by three factors. Okay, we cannot say that the life expectancy or infant mortality rate or literacy rate is higher or low. It is only average. So it cannot be appropriate to give the same importance to these three factors. The answer we get is in average. So if life expectancy is not higher and is low, so we cannot say the development is taken place. Next point is not right to give equal weightage. It is not right to give equal weightage 100 to all indicators. All three aspects do not have same importance in human life. Next is PQLI of rich countries rise at lower rate. The PQLI of rich countries rise at a slower rate because average life cannot increase beyond a particular limit. In the rich countries, in comparison with developing countries, the PQLI is increased at a lower rate. So we cannot say that rich country has not development, or in this country development is not taken place. Now our next point is, if a country's present PQLI is high, it cannot be generalized that the economic development is high as against other countries. Now we complete this topic here. If you have any doubt and query, please contact anytime. Thank you so much.